dropping those panties. Fanny, you supposed to be cracking cases, not getting your back cracked. Fanny, why was you getting your freak on with your employees? Fanny, you the one that said, should nobody be sleeping with their employees? You the one that said it. You said, should nobody be getting their freak on with their employees? But evidently, you should have been telling yourself that. Fanny.
Welcome back, Love Nation. This is Nina. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you to everybody that has been coming to my channel. Like this video, share this video, and hit that notification bell so you know when I drop my next one. Listen, you guys, this Fani Willis case is literally probably the craziest case I've seen since we covered Johnny Depp. This is a special hearing to see if she will be taken off of this case, to see, I don't know what is going on. Basically, if you guys have not been following this is literally breaking the internet. Fani Willis is accused of basically hiring her lover boy prosecutor, shown here, Nathan Wade, by the way, he was married at the time, to come help her as a special prosecutor in the case. However, it seemed like she was paying him all this money, and he was using his money basically to take her out on trips and stuff. Basically, she's the boss, allegedly paying the employee. Now, I got a few clips I'm going to play, highlights today, or lowlights, whatever you want to think of it. The short clip that you're going to see first is from her ex-friend that basically said this affair has been going on for at least since 2019. Then we're going to play some clips from Fani and Nathan today, as they both admitted a lot of things. And this is a mess, you guys. This actually might lead to further investigation. Y'all know how they get down in Georgia. So here's a little bit of the things that basically is being questioned during this hearing. A little brief synopsis. Basically, they're saying that they developed a personal relationship. This is being questioned. The next one was that he had no financial interest in the outcome of the 2020 election interference case. This is being questioned. Also, that no funds was being paid to him. This is Nathan Wade's answers that he's going to respond to later in the video. Basically, they're getting caught up in all kind of stuff at this point. Y'all, this trial, this is a mess, okay? I'm just going to call it a mess. Leave your comments below as I play these clips respectfully. And I'm about to play it now, y'all. This is just too much tea.
Yes. And do you understand it, that their relationship began in 2019 and continued until the last time you spoke with her? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So let's talk about both of them. I know he initially paid for it. Did you pay him back?
For the cruise and for Aruba, yeah, I gave him his money before we ever went on that trip.
You gave him cash before you ever went on the trip?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so when you got cash to pay him back on these trips, would you go to the ATM?
No, lady.
You would not go to the ATM?
No. In my worst days has probably only been $500 or $1,000. At my best days, I probably had $15,000 in my house at cash. At all times, there's going to be cash in my house or wherever I'm laying my head.
The money that you paid Mr. Wade, the cash, in October of 2022, you do not know where that money came from?
I do know where it came from. It came from my sweat and tears. But I always have cash at the house. That has been, I don't know, all my life. If you're a woman and you go on a date with a man, you better have $200 in your pocket. So if that man acts up, you can go where you want to go. So I keep cash in my house, and I don't keep cash as good in my purse like I used to, because I don't go on many dates. But when you go on a date, you should have cash in your pocket.
So my question was, where did that cash originally come from? If it didn't come out of the bank?
Cash is fungible. I've had cash for years in my house. So for me to tell you the source of when it comes from, when you go to Publix and you buy something, you get $50, you throw it in there. It's been my whole life. When I took out a large amount of money on my first campaign, I kept some of the cash of that. Like, to tell you, I just have cash in my house. I don't have as much today as I would normally have, but I'm building back up now. So you just put money in. It's a very good practice. I would advise it to all women.
So you can't identify when you came into this cash or where the cash came from?
I didn't say I couldn't identify it. No, nobody gives me anything. I am sure that the source of the money is always the work, sweat, and tears of me. What you asked me for is, when did the money go in there? What I am trying to tell you is, so I got divorced in 2005 from my husband. No. It's important. You said, where did the money come from? And I need to tell you where the money came from. And so for many, many years, I have kept money in my house. That money in my worst days has probably only been $500 or $1,000. At my best days, I probably had $15,000 in my house at cash. At all times, there's going to be cash in my house or wherever I'm laying my head.
The money that you paid Mr. Wade, the cash, in October of 2022, you do not know where that money came from.
I do know where it came from. It came from my sweat and tears.
You know which job it came from. Did it come from Fulton County or did it come from a private job?
It came from, what are you talking about? So it could have come from a private job, because before I was DA, I was in private practice. So I earned money during that time period. That's probably in there.
You don't
it
know
could have
records for flights that you may have taken with Mr. Wade.
No, look, I object to you getting records. You've been intrusive into people's personal lives. You're confused. You think I'm on trial. These people are on trial for trying to steal an election in 2020. I'm not on trial, no matter how hard you try to put me on trial.
So my question was, do you have any problem?
I object to getting any personal records of mine.
We're not dealing with privilege through a witness.
And I'm not, no, I'm not dealing with privilege. What we had offered to put them in camera for the court to review, and I just want to know if she has any
That's
problem.
not something you deal with a witness.
Okay, you have to file as part of your job something called an income and financial disclosure report, correct?
That's correct.
Period of separation, which included up to May the 30th of 2023. Isn't that correct, sir?
My answer to this interrogatory is none. Is none.
So you're saying that you did not have sexual relationships with anyone outside of your marriage, and the period of separation is during the period, and you're answering the question to this interrogatory, correct, sir?
I'm saying during the course of my marriage, I did not have sexual relations to anyone, and this answer is no.
Well, again, Your Honor,
You can proceed, Mr. Mayor.
we need a yes or no. Let's just get down to it. Did you or did you not, by May the 30th, 2023, have had sexual relations with Miss Willis, yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what you did is you answered no to that question, didn't you, or none, correct?
I didn't answer no to the question you just asked. I answered no to the interrogatory question.
And the interrogatory stands that you answered as a pleading in a civil proceeding, your divorce case, right?
Yes.
Now, excuse me. The next interrogatory, let's move there. That interrogatory states as follows. Identify any and all occasions in which you entertain a member of the opposite sex other than your spouse who is not related to you by blood or marriage. You see that? There are two parts to this. The second part is, I read on, or in which a member of the opposite sex other than your spouse, not related to you by blood or marriage, entertained you. And then it goes on to say, including but not limited to dining, drinking, in restaurants, bars, pubs, hotels. You see that, correct?
I do.
Now, as of May the 30th, 2023, when you filed this interrogatory, you had in fact entertained Ms. Willis on many occasions, had you not?
Again, during the course of the marriage was irretrievably broken in 2015.
Well,
The answer's still no.
Let's read what the interrogatory says about the time period required to answer the interrogatory. Because what it says is, it goes on to say, including but not limited to dining and or drinking at any restaurants, bars, pubs, hotels, or persons' homes from the date of marriage to the present. You understand what the word present means?
I do.
And present means the filing on May the 30th, 2023. Isn't that right?
It is.
So, as of May the 30th, 2023, you had done a lot of entertaining of Miss Willis, had you not?
I had done some, yes.
And in fact, under your testimony, you would have said that she had also entertained you. Isn't that correct?
Yes.
And so your answer to this interrogatory is false, is it not, sir?
No, it's not false.
Well, hate to dance around the... the answer is yes, you did entertain Miss Willis, correct? Right?
Yes.
She's not your spouse at that time or at any time, correct?
That's correct.
She's not related to you by blood or marriage, correct?
That's correct.
But you entertained her, right?
Yes.
And during the course from your marriage, the period of time up to the present, so the answer would have been, yes, I did entertain somebody, correct?
During the course of the marriage, no.
Mr. Wade.
Mr. Gillen, I think we've made our point. I think it speaks for itself, and we can save that for our moment.
I'll just follow up with one quick question. Do you understand what the word present means?
Your Honor, that's an estimate.
I think we did cover that already as well.
Okay. Now, what has happened